All right, everyone. The attempted persecution of Donald Trump has hit another little bit of a snag here. Jacksmith's case specifically with the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case there. Judge Eileencannon instructing that the prosecution and the defense should both submit jury instructions. One version, therefore, would say the president has the unilateral authority to bring his homework home with him. And the other one, of course, Jacksmith's case is, no, that's inapplicable, and so we're going to use different jury instructions. It looks like Eileencannon, though, leans towards the defense on this particular issue, and wants to issue instructions to any prospective jury, for what little it's worth, because the jury that's going to be convened is going to be probably mostly liberals, considering the particular demographics of where the venue is. And would include potentially instructions that the jury should consider the fact that under the presidential powers, the President of the United States does indeed have the ability to retain classified material at their residence. That is, that it can be conceived of as personal paperwork, and there is wide-reaching immunity to take such files. I would point out, if Jacksmith gets his way, technically speaking, that means that both Joe Biden and Mike Pence broke the law. If this case actually goes forward and Trump gets nailed on some of these charges that are in the Jacksmith case, this leaves the door open to prosecute other people. And not just them. Bill Clinton with his sock drawer tapes and stuff like that. Those were some of his sock drawer materials were classified as well. It's generally understood that former presidents, because they get security briefings, they've had security briefings, they've already read the classified material, etc. As long as the documents are retained in a proper manner, it's not a problem. The archives might bitch about it, but it's not a felony charge. It's entirely separate to what we see here. Jacksmith's proposal is that Donald Trump was not eligible to take home his homework with him. He was not eligible to take home classified documents. I would again point out, he is the only person in U.S. history who has been queried as such. It has been generally understood that former presidents, and others as well, of course, when Biden took his shit home with him and stored it in his unlocked garage, when he took those, he had not been president of the United States. He had been a senator and a VP. When Mike Pence took several classified documents to his home, which to be honest, he did voluntarily divulge, to his credit, I suppose. He had never been president. He had been vice president. The protection level is less for a VP. It's still possible for them to take the material back to their home. It's not being prosecuted as though it's a problem, even though in those cases it doesn't appear that they were secured like they were at the Mar-a-Lago. But it's understood that presidents, at least, have to be able to access that classified material because they already get the security briefings, they already have had access to top secret, classified, etc. material, and so it doesn't really make sense. I mean, if you could prosecute a former president for taking documents with them, my goodness, you'd have to prosecute every former president. I'm sure that George W. has some stuff at his house as well. They claim that they checked everything after the kerfuffle at the Mar-a-Lago and found nothing. We investigated ourselves and found that we committed no crime. I wonder if a third independent party were to go to George W.'s ranch if they would find anything that said classified on it. 99% odds say, yeah, they probably would. Clinton, he's probably still got some stuff. Hell, it's probably some stuff from presidents that are dead lying around. Maybe there's something at the Reagan mansion and in the basement that we don't know about. And nobody cares. Nobody looks into it. Nobody gets prosecuted for it. It doesn't matter how improprietous it happens to be. Donald Trump, who is absolutely capable of taking those classified documents, because he's a former president of the United States when he took them, all of a sudden he gets in trouble. Because Orange Man bad, right? That's what it boils down to. This is lawfare. This is a persecution attempt. Thank you to the judge in this case for issuing the possibility that the jury will be instructed on the proper context of the law as regards to presidential record keeping. Because Jacksmith wants to fool the jury into thinking that it's not a presidential power. But it self-evidently is. Again, if not, then why aren't you prosecuting Joe Biden and Mike Pence? And Bill Clinton, I suppose. And possibly George W. You should have a full investigation of all former executive officials and their staff, cabinet members, and everyone else, and raid all of their homes. And I bet you'd find hundreds and hundreds of classified headers in that material. I would point out, when they raided the Mar-a-Lago, they were confronted with a double-locked door system which was under constant guard, both private and Secret Service, by the way, that seems relatively more secure than Joe Biden's garage. I would think that the records are as safe there as they would be in the National Archives, possibly safer. But they still have a big problem about it, of course, because, again, Orange Man bad. Link in the description, archived, of course. Jacksmith is fuming and vowing that if the jury instructions that the defense has proposed are submitted as the final jury instructions, that he's going to appeal the decision because he's sour grapes. He's having a lot of problems. They wanted to have this trial in midsummer. Looks like that's out the window. That's not going to happen. They wanted to submit their own jury instructions that skirt the Constitution entirely. It looks like they might not get that either. On appeal, the appeals court may actually rule along with Eileencannon, by the way. Jacksmith is walking into a bit of a trap here, potentially. Even if he does get his way, there's no guarantee that a jury is going to be able to find Donald Trump guilty anyway. It's a spurious case. It's obvious persecution. This is almost as bad as the Fulton case. And there the prosecutor was fucking the main lead attorney, the main lead prosecutor, and giving him gifts and weird shit like that. You've got Rolex Gate right now in Peru. It's almost a similar situation with Nathan Wade, who had to get booted off the case so Fani Willis could continue her persecution there. Then you've got the civil case with Letitia James and the obviously sympathetic Engeron. That one's falling flat. Trump posted bond without effort and shrugged his shoulders, and now he gets to kick the can down the road further. We're not even sure what's happening with Alvin Bragg's court. Alvin Bragg, he appears to be dead in the water, like he's not even doing anything. These are weird cases. This is, by the way, completely legally unprecedented. This is the first time in U.S. history that this sort of thing has happened. My hope is that all the cases fall flat. My second hope is, he gets a felony charge or something so that he can win the election and then snip his ankle monitor off and grin at the TV cameras, causing riots among the far left or something like that. His persecution is falling flat because you've got a judge that's actually doing her job, unlike the judges in the other persecutorial lawfare cases, of course. That's about all. Peace out.